Hello, people of Reddit. I've known I should post this encounter of mine for all this sub for months. I've been too slow, mainly because I usually come here to relax and reap the lessons of your tales. I'm a selfish bitch, basically. My inner nag, though, she just couldn't let me shake the feeling that maybe somebody needs to hear my experience for whatever reason. Maybe not, but I believe in giving back what you can when you can, manners. I know a couple of posts I read on the sub have changed me, educated me to be careful, and invited me to see the shit that's keeping them up at night. So, here I type in thanks to the authors of Let's Not Meet. I tried to keep it from becoming a novel. I'll start by sharing the fact that I am a female, living in the Pacific Northwest, so you don't picture some John. I'm a 30-something-year-old now. This happened 15 plus years ago. I took a would-be summer job south of the US West Coast border in Baja Cali. It was a good 10 to 15 months after HS. I needed a break from my very tight social and family circle of about 30. And if not then, when? Fast forward past the exodus and the slow push of paperwork, and I'm tan and without a care in the stunning state of Baja California, Sur Mexico, for about a month's time. I had gone down with another chick from my city, Desi. She had a decade on me age-wise, and was in the midst of what could be described as the height of her midlife crises. She was accepting the fact I'm no jury, separated from her husband, and father of her two grade school-age kids. Let's just say she was down there boring trouble at every corner. We both had been set up with a tourism promoting gig, with a prime location at the airport and the town over, San Jose del Cabo. RCI prepaid our housing expenses at a hotel about 8 blocks from the Pacific Ocean in San Lucas, which we would have to repay as we earned commission. This was all set up in advance by our beloved mutual friend Joanne. The trip was, and expected to be, for about a 3-month period. For her, it was just that. I came home 4.5 years later, and only as a direct result of the tragic 9/11. Its ripple effect on tourism left no other option for me as a non-Mexican citizen. Ironic? Perhaps. That's another story for a different subreddit. The Santa Fe Hotel was quaint, not a 5-star by any stretch, but it was away from the party scene and it was clean. It offers a kiddie pool, hot tub too, which was a bonus, I guess. I took full advantage of the pool by jumping in the fully clothed after work each and every day. Also, there's a little store street side with all the basics: milk, bread, deodorant, Modella, etc. It even had a laundromat with maybe 3 washers and a couple dryers to wash our clothes. Of those first 4 to 5 weeks in the company housing, my friend and roommate Desi came home to crash 3, maybe 5 nights in total. I just assumed she was with our mutual friend Joe on most of those nights. They had a history between them dating back to high school after all, and were much, much closer than I had been to either of them. That assumption I had on her whereabouts was squashed flat when Joe came looking for Desi one afternoon. Des, what the hell? She's not with you? I asked. I haven't seen Des since I took the both of you to finalize your paperwork at immigration office a week and a half after you arrived in Cabo, Joe explained. But I've heard she hangs out at the Love Shack a lot. I'll check there, she said carefree, to disarm my wide-eyed no doubt. Let her know she needs to call me if you see her drop by, okay? Asked Joe. "'Kay," I agreed, skeptically. People, where she stayed those nights, those weeks, I had no frickin' idea. For the most part, I still don't. I will say, though, we haven't seen each other much in the past 10 plus years, not by accident either. When we had crossed paths, I got a glimpse of that dress I used to own, or my whatever. I still have her family photos, though. If you can tread through these brief connections between us prior to the meeting with human traffic professionals that she arranged, you might understand how the clueless find danger. Bear with me. So, moving on. She always showed up to training those first couple weeks, and later on that month, she would be there working at the airport. It was in our contract, after all. The airport we worked at, the only airport, is 45 minutes away from the Santa Fe. At times, she would show up in the morning to catch the work van, in the AM with the villa crew and I, but after the flights were done, poof, gone. If she stayed for them, all that is. I don't really care. I didn't know what it was like to be a mom and wife, so who am I to judge? She got very defensive and angry when I dutifully probed her about her goings-on at night. During those first weeks when she did come home by the Fae for a change of clothes that afternoon, Joe stopped in. Honest, I could have cared less, really. She seemed health-wise fine. Besides, she preferred other gringos companies, and I was there to meet the local people there too, and they got a kick out of me too. However, we often had work obligations, like employment paperwork. The where would be asked. So this one particular Saturday, she rolls into the Fae for the sake of her own minimum hygiene requirements. Shit, shower, and shave. At which time she offers what her day off entailed thus far, and even notes specifically that she had met a very nice couple. Odd, she's pitching me. I think you would like them, Desi says to me through smiling eyes. I hung out with them yesterday and again last night. They're super cool, she says excited. Okay, a pattern? I'm thinking to myself. Nah, she's probably only chatting it up with this friendly couple because she's left in thick dramatics of novella proportions a few nights prior, was my inner dialogue. Reckless even for her. She stormed out without even changing into fresh clothes. Quick stop cut short of its purpose, after an exchange of words between us, broken record skips, to where she complained that I had offended her, and made her sound like a slut. What was I supposed to say when I asked her whereabouts that would please her? Nothing at all is what's okay, that's what. LOL, we had a love-hate relationship, can't you tell? Misfits paired momentarily, and forged only through happen chance through third-party bonds, each honored by the other just enough to fudge through our misgivings. Here's the duo. She's a tall, masculine, Jamie Lee Curtis likeness with a spot-on replicated Courtney Love personality, to my Annie DeFranco no-bullshit attitude, and look, minus the anti-man crusade. Yes. Anyways, so she's repeating her line about how nice the couple was, and they aren't Mexican. They are from Argentina. They came here on their fishing boat, she explains. I start to put the plot together when they want to meet you. Pops out of her mouth. What the fuck, why? Weird, I'm thinking. A day or three go by, and we're just in a spat, but I'm also kind of relieved, so I succumb to the idea, backing in slowly. It's better to keep the peace. Though I didn't see her often, that doesn't mean she wasn't exhausting to fight with when she was around. On and on she could drag it out with the feelings I gave her, or she sees emotions I'm emitting from whatever chakra, blah blah blah, yuck. I have 3 brothers. Bitch, this is Mexico. I'm emitting beans through my ass chakra. So anyways, I'm trying so hard to be one of the girls at this stage in my life, so I bite my tongue a lot. Yeah, that entire year, honestly. And I reply, they do? Well, okay, sure, when? Agreeing to go. In a couple hours. She replied, today? Okay, where, I ask. The little bar a couple blocks down, Desi explains. Bar? Near? Where? Not picturing where she's speaking of, I question her further. On this same street? To which she confirms, yeah. Apologizingly, I continue, I don't know where you mean. Truly, in the 109 plus times I've walked to the beach in the past month, no bar whatsoever pops up in my mind. She must be mistaken. Small town. You mean over a block, maybe? I correct. Though Des ends my 1,000 questions with, nope. Final answer. I agreed to let her show me the way in a bit. Though it's still very skeptical it's on her street, it can't be far. There was only one stoplight in Cabo at the time. Only a few paved roads beyond the Transpeninsular Highway. All marina side. We shower. A little makeup is put on the cheeks. I take my hair down for a change, and after a short delay we are off, and on our way down the dirt road, headed south towards the marina and ocean. When we get a few blocks down, Des, seemingly out of nowhere, stops and announces, oh, they aren't here yet. Looking around, I only see residential in my tunnel vision. We aren't there yet either, are we? I chuckle to myself, confused. It's right there. Jess points to a 2-story structure, stuck between 2 others. It's lost in plain sight. Picture the San Francisco Bay construction-style houses, all plastered together. Tight and all, but seamlessly. Only different, these ones are very small in the Mexican style. So, basically you see rebar rustling at the highest points. The one she's pointing at Looks like bottom floor is just one room, but one wall is from the building to its left, and the other is borrowed from the one on the right, each its own color. A long bar takes up half the space, running from front to back on the right, with a tiny opening to get behind it. On the far wall, which has one shelf with maybe a half dozen bottles. 2, 3 stools are on the other half of the lower room. That fills the entire bar space. The doorway to enter is on the stool side. Just beyond the stools is a windy circular set of rickety wire stairs leading up to the only other sitting room. It's without the front wall for the most part, gaping hole from about a person's shins to head, and the same width. It faces out to us as we stand on the dirt road, no glass window, but with a roof. Painted a drab gray in front. No wonder it was easily missed by me dozens of times over. Easily missed by locals, I'm certain of it, solely due to the lifeless gray was painted. A very odd color choice, to be honest. Thinking back, nothing was accidental about the guise the establishment embodied for its purpose. Now I clearly see. Nope, the couple was in fact not there. I could see the entire establishment from where we stood, though it was built as what appeared to be an afterthought. It probably used to be a sleek alley recently, now dubbed a bar by the owner with a humble driftwood plank hanging above the entrance, not unlike a treehouse, no bathroom for its own, though a shared makeshift loo communal between the neighboring structures was tucked behind a clothesline curtain. I doubt water was piped in, but could have been. We agreed to go in and order a couple beers. The downstairs could only fit 2, 3 patrons tops, so we go up to the second floor. There isn't much to it either. One single low to the floor round table, and 4 leather and wicker bucket seats traditional to Mexico. That's it, and to fill the entire space, no shit, there's one bartender, who also doubles as the waitstaff. I assume he is also the owner? He offers 2 beer choices. We point to our selections, and without speaking a word he leaves warm, unopened bottles of beer in front of each of us, not once catching eyes with me. I brushed it off as him being shy and embarrassed, possibly, too. Maybe it was just that. Nah. We get our drinks opened, and the couple shows up within a few minutes. Initially, they both seem normal as far as appearances go. Picture this, 5'9" or so, olive skin, slender, but not skinny. Both of them fit that mold. The pair also shared similar beady eyes, obscured through behind med-tinted glasses. Like many people we met, they had a natural no-nonsense hair duo, with no products or perfumes. I doubt deodorant was in their travel packs either. The woman didn't shave, but it wasn't off-putting at all. Very heavy accents greeted us, but from where? The man was kinda dressed like the crocodile hunter, and the woman, who seemed more like a sister than a wife, was also in garb, not unlike the Croc's lady friend, tans khakis, army greens, and cargo pockets. Not sure, but possibly even work boots or hiking boots, though as I said, I can't be sure. As plain and forgettable as the building they had invited us to was, so they were, or so they appeared. My whole body went on high alert within minutes of their arrival. I know, to look at them as I described was not alarming. They also had plain names. I remember them to be something like Pat or Jose or something like that. Above all, what I noticed right away was how they spoke. It was off. Not the accent, well, that too, but mainly the fact that their broken English was forced. Let me explain. When you spent any amount of time around people who don't have a common language with you, a time comes when either you need something or vice versa. When you do, humanity finds a way to communicate without any words. Similar to the game charades. Use your movements, universal gestures, or draw pictures to do that. Basically, anything you can do to fill in the gaps. These two made gaps that didn't need to be there, if that makes any sense. One partial sentence that burned into my mind from that afternoon was a woman saying, in English, how do you say up? Bad acting. The conversation, or better said, script they spat very cunningly, could be chalked up by me, or by anyone with a bit of street smarts for that matter, as a ploy to convince 2 dumb white girls from the USA that Mexico makes it super hard and expensive to work, so why bother? With them as our friends, we could cut our losses, though funny thing is, we never complained or discussed our work requirements with them, we just sat down. Rest assured, they pleaded, we should jump for joy as today we just hit a great fortune in meeting them, or our worries were over now. The worries that didn't exist, even. They tried diligently to persuade us with a confident tone and careful execution. Skipping town, or in this case country, with them to Argentina was a great opportunity and a no-brainer. Why? Because we were so lucky to have such good friends in them to be able to do so, of course. Friends? Anyone in their right mind would be grateful and thrilled to have such a great opportunity, right? They dramatically went on and on, with lots of gas in our boat. We hook you girls up. We even make you cheaper in full gas our boat. We go gas, imagine, no mas per fees, and mucho dinero para passports they want you pay. No problems get you over there with we boat. As they reiterate over and over the script, what I'm hearing in my head is bells, whistles, and sirens, loud ones. The spinning red ones like the cops used to place on their hood, and old flicks like Dukes of Hazzard, tea kettles steaming. And more than that, I hear a definite question being asked of myself, and by myself I must consider. What did we do to get the royal treatment? Jose goes on. So, you wanna have to go through customs on me boat? Who like to mess with them? The man, this Jose, is about to lose that win and smile from his olive face. As I rebuttal Jose's offer, it's possible, yes, that he has mistaken my silence as a surrender to his point. No, actually, the fact is now I'm in a very, very sarcastic mood, as is my dominant personality in any situation where I'm treated like a complete fucking novice. Oh, good! Sitting up now. So no passport? I look around the table. Cool! No magre, no checkports, or hell, no record? I challenge him, wide-eyed. By this time, the woman knows I'm not falling in line with their pitch so easily, and is speaking fast in a hushed tone behind his shoulder to his opposite, and sitting back slightly from my line of sight, clearly in response to his erect arm reaching over back to her. He begins humbly apologizing to me, explaining that I clearly don't understand what he means. Jose leans over like the good buddy he is to correct the situation eye to eye. Why, of course. That's the trust-infusing stance when in business negotiations, right? Now softening his tone dramatically. No way, Jose, I'm already onto you. I'm also leaning in with a nervous grin. I meet his gaze. I probably appeared as cocky, though my heart was racing. Again, I chirp out. So, my last known whereabouts would still be Mexico. Cocking my head aside, finger up. Wait, if I was like, I don't know, sick or hurt or something, anything, like, my family back home would never even know. If I lost touch for a while when they tried to reach me, which I'm sure they would, they'd only be looking and checking for my whereabouts here in Mexico, right? Silence. I mean, that's where the trail would lead them. But dead end, no dice, huh? I question. Well, simply because your boat's not making a special stop to check us in with the Argentina customs officials, is it? I mean, after all, you hate those guys, huh? Pain. I chuckle again, nervously looking from face to face, holding myself up arm on leg. You said right. I finish my monologue there, with a double slap on my thighs, as if not to overstep my boundaries. Des gets a correcting tone, asking, Why are you being so rude? They're seizing the opportunity of reeling her in, with a glance to each other, the moment they realize she's still hooked. Now, swiftly they shift their bodies to face her, and her only, Jose smiling softly, like a cartoon villain again, pitching her his transparent lies, weaving a deadly web. Clearly, he's trying to drown me out verbally. I think she notices the change in the air. She must. I down the last swig of my beer and ask, You ready, chica? Standing up and already walking towards the windy stairs. But with a getty up, I'm not leaving alone, ring to my word. Followed up with a wave, towards a step and only exit. They look visibly mad, physically pissed I cut them short. Burning eyes through me and meet me as I glance back over my shoulder. All while they, as quickly as possible, try to finalize and confirm an exact time to meet Desi, and her other girlfriends too, the next AM Sunday at their boat. Gosh, they can at least trier the Zoom ocean fishing. Shit. And wouldn't you know, this idiot is all yups and see you then. I tell myself, she's not serious. Can't. Nah, nope. The bells and whistles never chirped so fucking loud in my life. I've never before or since felt so damn close to such saturated evil pose in the human shape and form ever in my entire life. Without a pang of guilt or doubt them two, man, they would sell their inbred daughters by the hour for a small snack. This is the impression I got. Des doesn't delay too long. I hear the sibling push back of her wicker chair before I reach the rail. We both descend the steps, and without a parting word from me, we're out the front and only door, and then step again our walk north. Alas, more than before, no better put, part of the same tribe. At a brisk pace and over three-fourths of the walk back behind us, I proceed to tell her I've got early plans in the morning with Victor. That's when I shit you not, Redditors. Dessa's jaw drops agape, and she snaps her head towards me, and with wide eyes and surprised gasps, "You're not going fishing at 11 a.m. with us?" To which I reply immediately in a deep, sure sharp tone, "Fuck no." Brows frown together. I don't bother to meet her eyes. "Des, tell me you didn't hear me. Little fucking voice in that head that's saying over and over again, danger, 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 danger." I then presume to squeal in high-pitched sounds of sirens. Wee, 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 wee. Red alert, red alert, red alert. Shaking my head, I look over now half-jokingly, because this shit's common sense. But she's blank stares. "What the fuck, are you fucking kidding me?" Throwing up my hands. "They pretended to not know English fluently," I say with my body, as much as my voice in disbelief. Dessa's jaw still agape. "Wow." I look away and proceed to do an impression of the woman in her phony accent. "In English, how do you say up?" I want to throw up. Still shaking my head, in a haze of equal parts pissed and worried. I knew her radar was broken. Now it's clear worse shit. It may have never worked properly in the first place. And I seriously worry to myself that that could even be possible to get through a death-luring pitch from those two, best friends to the devil. No, not two lowly bottom dwellers, no way, two well-versed slave drivers, no, not without a feeling, a deep ingrained primal feeling, a physically felt need for safe perseverance. Shock starts to wash over me, but I try to calm down with each disbelieving step. 2, 3, I turn to Desi like a mother to her child, and I search her eyes for any sign of it all seeping in. A fruitless moment goes by, when I retreat and say to her, in a delicately kind tone, "Des, they look at us as stuff, as things, nothing more, not people, surely not their equals. Each of us is seen as a free commodity at best, and at worst, simple-minded dumb American girls worth at least a carton of smokes. Well, for you, a pack of smokes." Joking. Blank stares and batting eyes is all Des replies. So I go on. "Don't let them think they can easily exploit you for their purposes, whatever that may be. They will probably, in all seriousness, make you a sex slave if you go on that boat, Des. Or who knows what. Make your family pay a ransom to get you back, or something worse, if you even have an option to ever come back." I assure her, this is what's up. After a few more silent moments, I put my hand on her shoulder and look her in the eyes, searching again. "You know that, right?" My nodding is met by more blank stares. I surrender. You both retreat to a faster pace. Later at the Santa Fe, I, in guilt, make one last attempt to try and make her promise that she will not go and meet them at 11 a.m. the next morning for fishing while I'm away. She wouldn't. The next day before I leave, she stayed in our room for a night. Wowzers. She announces that, after thinking it over, she was going to trust my gut, since I had felt so strongly about it and all. "There must be a reason behind a strong feeling like that," she said, "but I still think they were nice, and you shouldn't have been so rude, unable to meet my glare." To the people reading this, I say this. If not entertained in this recount of mine, then I'm sorry. I will still leave you with this thought to ponder. Think back to an intense moment in your life. Was there a sense of alarm? If so, did you try to talk yourself out the legitimacy of that feeling? Maybe even rationalize, dismiss it? How did it all turn out? The internal alarm is a phenomenon I believe up to this point we were all given within our makeup for a reason. Well, turns out that's true. Except when it isn't given to you. I like to hope there is still a chance it can be reset or recovered for a person. Hopeful it's always turned back on just in the nick of time to keep one safe, sometimes. I see it might not be there chirping loudly because it wasn't given to you for warning in times of danger, and so I optimistically assumed, but just maybe, sometimes it's there sounding loudly, only because the grace of God had given it to somebody else whom he knew would be there at that precise moment to share it with you, if you're lucky. So, La Parege Más Loca de Argentina. I will not meet you on your boat. I will not be tricked, nope. I will not depart here by your scam, and I will not fall victim in your foreign land.